A lot of the teachers would send work or activities home with their children, and their children would interview their parents or ask them about certain things. And quite often what came out of that was the parents were learning from their children about our work. So we didn't have to say, this is exactly what we're doing. Our children spoke to them and for us. They became our advocates. And then that came back to the school and those things were shared. So it would have been through activities. We also included competency language and project-based learning language in our reporting. We had student-led conferences where we did goal setting around the competency, so parents were involved there. We also are looking for and creating community partnerships. And so we're always looking for parents and community members to come into the school and share their expertise. So that's been another piece.
At the beginning of the year, we had a Meet the Teacher night, and we discussed how we assess how we are teaching, and they are very excited about it for their children, and I've only seen positive feedback. It is new for them, but again, just through continual conversation. They come into the class, they email or phone whenever they have a question, and we go through it together, and they do realize that it's a learning curve as well for us teachers as we are going into this as a kind of a new way of teaching. And they've been very supportive and very excited, again, for their kids to find success using these competencies.
One of the parents from the parent council came, and she's the treasurer. And so she came in, and the students were designing their playground that would be safe and withstand the elements. And she came in and told her perspective on the budget and what they had to consider. And so they learned from her, she learned from them, and then they moved forward. We've brought TV personalities in for grade 5 science on weather. We're building up sort of a reference library of people in our community that we can access, and people volunteer, and we just try to connect the dots, really.
I have particular interest in watching the kindergartens in this school since my grandson attends this school, and seeing where that young man will be over the course of his primary education and secondary education and post-secondary education has been really interesting. I think that Dr. Wright and her staff here have done an absolutely phenomenal job of trying to integrate all of the information we have in education about what's good from the past that will help us build a better tomorrow for our children and our grandchildren as they move into the 21st century dead center.
Within my own role with Comprehensive School Health and looking at it from a provincial perspective is making those connections to the wellness and looking at wellness within our students. And when we connect to wellness, not only do we connect to the physical activity piece, but also the healthy eating, but more importantly, that healthy relationship piece. And I think we often go back, and you'll hear me, I know I've said it before, I know that Tricia Giles-Wang here has said it many times, relationships, relationships, relationships. And I think what the 3Es and the competencies are going to allow us to do is to continue to build those relationships with our children and with our students, and really hearing their voice and what do they ultimately want, and how can we learn from them. And I think that's really important, that it's a team piece, it's a collaboration, but it's even bigger than that. And using words, if I connect to my old work and a lot of the work that I've done, making those connections to really we're synergizing, and we're looking at what is our vision. And I think from today what I've really seen is seeing a vision actually happen, and seeing that it is a process and it is a journey, and there is going to be speed bumps along the way. But when we get past those speed bumps, it's amazing on where we can get to within our education system and where we're working as educators.